Have you ever wondered what life is really like for the wife of a dictator? You won't believe what Kim Jong Un did to his wife, Ri Sol-ju. On the surface, she might seem like a powerful and elegant first lady, admired for her beauty and grace. But behind the scenes, it's a completely different story. Imagine being forced into marriage, expected to bear a son, and even restricted from wearing jeans. Can you believe she is banned from leaving North Korea and isn't allowed to visit her own parents? If you think that's intense, wait until you hear about the other shocking rules she has to follow. Watch my video to uncover the dark and surprising truths about her life. Number 15. Not allowed to wear jeans. Imagine living in a world where you're not allowed to wear jeans. This is the reality for Kim Jong Un's wife, Ri Sol-ju. Her early wardrobe, full of diverse fashion choices, is slowly disappearing, replaced by more conservative outfits that all require her husband's approval. Even her hairstyle has remained unchanged since the birth of their first daughter. Unlike many first ladies worldwide, Ri Sol-ju can never appear in public alone. She is always seen by her husband's side, and even their children are kept out of the public eye. In the era of social media, it's almost unheard of to have no photos of a public figure's children. The North Korean government aims to control its citizens' image and maintain societal unity. Banning blue jeans is seen as a way to limit Western cultural influences and reinforce the image of a self-reliant nation. Historically, jeans were associated with the American working class. By banning blue jeans, the North Korean regime might be trying to differentiate social classes and uphold the existing social order. This ban serves as a political propaganda tool to emphasize their stance against capitalism and American imperialism. Additionally, while the ruling class has access to luxury goods, ordinary North Koreans face strict clothing restrictions, making attire a powerful tool for social control. This strict control over something as personal as clothing highlights the extent of the regime's influence over individual freedoms. The symbolic rejection of jeans, a ubiquitous item of Western culture, aligns with North Korea's broader efforts to resist Westernization and maintain a distinct national identity. By controlling such aspects of daily life, the regime not only enforces its political ideology, but also solidifies its control over the population, using cultural symbols to reinforce social norms and political doctrines. Number 14. Forced into marriage. Within the corridors of power in the Kim dynasty, marriage is not about romantic love, but strategic alliances with historical significance. Every union is meticulously arranged to strengthen political ties rather than personal affection. The marriage of Ri Sol-ju and Kim Jong Un is no exception. While women around the world can typically choose their partners, reports suggest Ri Sol-ju was compelled to marry Kim Jong Un. After suffering a stroke in 2008, Kim Jong-il, a hawkish dictator and Kim Jong Un's father, commanded Kim to marry her. In North Korea, one simply does not refuse a dictator's order. Ri Sol-ju's family background adds more layers to this story. She was born into a well-educated family, with her father a professor and her mother a doctor. Her father also served in the North Korean Air Force. There are persistent rumors about her ties to Jang Song-thaek, a prominent political figure, which adds further intrigue, especially after Jang became a pillar of the regime's power. In North Korea, the privilege of choosing one's spouse is almost non-existent. Even if Ri Sol-ju and Kim Jong-un met prior to their marriage, the immense social pressure and the regime's pervasive control likely left her with little choice but to accept the proposal. Their marriage is more of a strategic commitment than an act of genuine consent. Media in Seoul suggests the marriage was a calculated move to address concerns about Kim Jong-un's youth and inexperience when he was appointed to the highest state and military leadership positions. Announcing Kim Jong-un's marriage helped counter perceptions of his immaturity, presenting him as a responsible leader. A married man is perceived as more stable and reliable. While the public may romanticize their appearances together, the reality suggests a marriage driven more by political necessity than personal happiness. Number 13. Ri Sol-ju's isolation from her family. Before becoming Kim Jong-un's wife, Ri Sol-ju led a privileged life. She came from a notable and wealthy family, with her mother heading the obstetrics department at a hospital and her father being a professor. It was through her uncle, one of Kim Jong-un's military advisors, that she met her future husband. However, her marriage to North Korea's leader drastically changed her life, severely limiting her interactions with her family. Ri Sol-ju's relationship with her family has been tightly controlled by Kim Jong Un, effectively severing her ties to her parents. She is under strict orders to follow the regime's dictates, which includes being prohibited from meeting her family or maintaining personal connections. This isolation isn't merely about personal autonomy, but is a deliberate tactic by the regime to consolidate power by keeping her isolated from her relatives. The intention is to prevent any potential dissent or opposition from emerging within her family circle. This enforced isolation strengthens her dependence on Kim Jong Un and the ruling elite for emotional and social support. The regime's strategy of cutting off her family ties ensures that Ri Sol-ju has limited access to external information, thus ensuring her perspectives are shaped exclusively by the regime's narratives. By isolating her, the regime deepens her loyalty and ensures her compliance. Number 12. Concealing her pregnancies. As the First Lady of North Korea, Ri Sol-ju has always been under heavy surveillance and protection, a situation that became even more intense during her pregnancies. For months, she vanished from the public eye, fueling rumors about her being the mother of Kim Jong Un's 3 children. Ri Sol-ju's role has always been under global scrutiny. Her life, already marked by stringent protection and isolation, saw even stricter measures during her pregnancies. She disappeared from the public view for long periods, which gave rise to speculation about her pregnancies. These disappearances were not confirmed, as she was prohibited from openly displaying her pregnancy. Moreover, she was not allowed to attend public events during this time, and her clothing was designed to conceal her pregnant belly. Her physical changes became noticeable around June 2011. By March 2013, former NBA star Dennis Rodman confirmed meeting the couple's daughter, Jue. Reports suggest that Ri Sol-ju may have given birth to another child in 2010 and yet another around February 2017, following a 7-month public absence. Though these details remain unconfirmed, growing speculation about her circumstances persists. Some photos and reports indicate she was pregnant and kept away from public attention on purpose. This secrecy is a critical part of the regime's strategy to control the narrative and maintain its image both at home and abroad. By managing Ri Sol-ju's public appearances and the story surrounding her pregnancies, the regime continues to control and manipulate perceptions to support its broader goals. This concealment reflects the regime's meticulous efforts to maintain an unchallenged grip on power and influence. Number 11. Forced to change her real name. While it's common for women to change their surname after marriage, Ri Sol-ju faced a much more drastic transformation. She had to completely abandon her birth name and adopt a new identity upon marrying Kim Jong Un. Analysts believe that Ri Sol-ju is a pseudonym created to prevent any revealing information about her family background or personal history from being discovered by outsiders. Her real name, birth year, and details of her past have all been shrouded in secrecy. This isn't the first time such measures have been taken. Kim Jong Un's mother, Ko Young-hwe, also lived under a veil of anonymity. She was only publicly acknowledged through an official documentary titled The Mother of the Great Army, which revealed her name. It seems that changing names and concealing identities is a standard practice in North Korea to maintain tight control over the narratives surrounding the ruling family. What are your thoughts on this practice? Share your opinions below. Number 10. Forced to have a son. Kim Jong Un and Ri Sol-ju married in 2009, and their first child was reported to be born in early 2010. Since then, Ri Sol-ju is believed to have given birth to 2 more children. However, reports indicate that Kim Jong Un was dissatisfied with their first 2 children, because they were both girls. In North Korea, the Kim family has ruled for 3 generations, which is not by accident but by design. The governance of North Korea is based on the 10 principles for the establishment of a monolithic ideological system, which mandates that the leadership must remain within the Paektu bloodline. This means that the leadership can only be passed down to a male member of the Kim family. Consequently, Ri Sol-ju bears the heavy burden of producing a male heir to continue the dynasty. Traditionally, Korean families typically have only 2 children. While there are rumors that the couple's first child in 2010 was a son, the pressure to secure a male heir could have influenced the decision to have a 3rd child. Sources suggest that Ri Sol-ju was forced to have children immediately after marriage, and faced immense pressure to produce a son. This patriarchal expectation places an extraordinary burden on her, highlighting the gender inequality deeply rooted in North Korean society. The societal pressure to produce a male heir in North Korea underscores a disturbing patriarchal mindset that values sons over daughters. This coercion is a stark reminder of the need to address gender equality issues. Living under such societal expectations is undoubtedly harrowing. What do you think about this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Number 9. Kim Jong Un keeps his wife isolated from foreigners. Life as Kim Jong Un's wife is tightly controlled, with even the most mundane aspects of Ri Sol-ju's life under the regime's watchful eye. Every word she speaks and every interaction she has with the outside world is meticulously monitored. Kim Jong Un is extremely cautious, not only about political matters but also about his wife's personal life. He views any deviation from strict protocol as a potential threat. This translates into a life of luxury confined within a gilded cage. Encounters with others or glimpses of the outside world are strictly framed by the regime's omnipresent surveillance, creating a stifling atmosphere of control. Number 8. Kim Jong Un's infidelity and polygamy. Officially, infidelity and polygamy are forbidden in North Korea, but history tells a different story for the nation's elite. Kim Jong Un himself is the product of such circumstances, being an illegitimate child of Kim Jong-il. This reality underscores that marital happiness is often a facade among the ruling class. Producing the right heir is paramount, and Kim Jong Un was chosen as his father's successor, not because he was the eldest, but because he was deemed the most suitable. Should Ri Sol-ju fail to produce a male heir, Kim Jong Un is likely to seek another woman without giving her any say in the matter. Kim Jong Un's choice of a successor must align with his vision of who can lead the nation, and if Ri Sol-ju does not meet these expectations, she risks fading into obscurity. Additionally, there are secretive reports that Kim Jong Un maintains a pleasure squad, a group of young, attractive women tasked with entertaining him. These women are required to perform nude and engage in various activities to amuse Kim Jong Un and other high-ranking officials during their late-night parties. This reality paints a grim picture of life within the upper echelons of North Korea's ruling elite, where personal desires and happiness are secondary to political needs and control. What are your thoughts on this? Share your opinions in the comments below. Number 7. Living under strict regime control. Ri Sol-ju, the wife of Kim Jong Un, lives a life cloaked in secrecy and invisibility. Unlike the glamorous, high-profile spouses of many world leaders, her public appearances are strictly controlled and rare. Her presence is shielded from the prying eyes of the media, and she steps into the public eye only when her husband, the enigmatic supreme leader, decides it is appropriate. Her images are meticulously managed, and there are rumors that she has even been erased from official photographs. This isn't a simple oversight, but a deliberate tactic by the regime. By removing her from public images, the regime amplifies Kim Jong-un's dominance, reinforcing the cult of personality around him. This strategy ensures that all attention remains on him, without any distractions. The manipulation of her image is not just about censorship. It turns her absence into a mystery, making her an invisible yet central figure on the political stage. This fuels curiosity and speculation among the public, leading to questions about her whereabouts and the reasons behind her disappearance. This calculated ambiguity serves to strengthen the regime's grip on power. By creating a mysterious narrative, they make the truth elusive, fostering doubt and confusion among the populace. This tactic highlights the sophistication and ruthlessness of the North Korean regime in controlling information and shaping public perception. Number 6. Restricted from leaving North Korea. Ri Sol-ju is not allowed to travel outside of North Korea. Her movements are strictly confined within the country, and she can only leave for official state visits, usually related to funerals of prominent leaders, always accompanied by her husband. Before marrying Kim Jong Un, Ri Sol-ju reportedly traveled abroad several times. It's said that she studied in China to pursue her passion for music. There are also rumors of a secret visit to South Korea in 2005, where she allegedly attended the Asian Games. If true, this brief visit would have exposed her to the vibrant and dynamic South Korean society, a stark contrast to the rigid, controlled environment of North Korea. However, since her marriage, her activities have been confined within North Korea's borders. The country's stringent border control policies make it nearly impossible for her to travel abroad. Only a select few are granted permission to leave for study or work, and the process to obtain such permission is highly complex and costly. This strict control over her movements underscores the regime's efforts to maintain a tight grip on her and to prevent any potential influences from the outside world. Living in such an isolated and controlled environment can be incredibly stifling. It limits her exposure to different perspectives and experiences, reinforcing the regime's control over her life and actions. This isolation serves to keep her dependent on the regime, ensuring her loyalty and minimizing any potential for dissent. Number 5. Divorce is impossible. In North Korea, the concept of divorce is virtually non-existent, especially within the regime's stringent legal framework. For women like Ri Sol-ju, the wife of Kim Jong Un, the prospect of divorce is filled with uncertainty and immense difficulty. Although divorce is technically recognized, the process is fraught with obstacles and heavily biased against women. The legal system in North Korea prioritizes the dissolution of marriage only under specific circumstances, such as proven infidelity or abuse, which are hard to establish in a regime that overlooks conventional moral standards. Even if Ri Sol-ju wished to separate from Kim Jong Un, her path would be nearly insurmountable. Unlike Western countries where irreconcilable differences can be grounds for divorce, North Korean law demands substantial evidence of misconduct. Actions like abuse or infidelity seem irrelevant in Kim's regime, complicating matters further for Ri Sol-ju. Her fate is entirely dependent on her husband's whims. Any attempt at divorce could be perceived as an act of defiance, potentially resulting in severe repercussions for her and her family. The power dynamics in their relationship are heavily skewed under a dictatorship. Openly requesting a divorce could lead to severe punishment rather than liberation, making the notion of divorce more of a peril than a relief. This grim reality affects not just Ri Sol-ju, but all women within North Korea's elite. Number 4. Public appearances of Kim Jong Un's wife. Ri Sol-ju's public role is highly specialized and meticulously managed. Unlike first ladies in other countries who enjoy showcasing personal style and attending glamorous events, her appearances are orchestrated to serve the regime's objectives. Her presence at national celebrations, such as the birthdays of previous leaders, is both ceremonial and strategic. During mass events like the Arirang Games in Pyongyang, where thousands display synchronized loyalty, her participation adds a personal dimension to the regime's message of unity and devotion. Her public image carries profound significance beyond these grand spectacles. Her traditional attire and composed demeanor subtly reinforce North Korea's values of obedience and respect for authority. Every public appearance is a calculated move, serving as a reminder to citizens of their societal roles and the established order. Each outfit, gesture, and appearance contribute to the crafted image of the Kim dynasty, bolstering the regime's power. Even her participation in diplomatic trips, such as accompanying Kim Jong Un to China during the 2019 summit with Donald Trump, is a strategic effort to project an image of openness and international cooperation. These carefully curated public roles and appearances underscore the regime's sophisticated approach to controlling the narrative and maintaining power. Ri Sol-ju's visible yet tightly controlled presence is a tool for reinforcing the regime's authority and the Kim family's legacy. Number 3. Forced participation in charity events. Ri Sol-ju's involvement in charity events is not just a matter of goodwill, but a strategic necessity orchestrated by Kim Jong Un. While participating in charity work might seem positive at first glance, it serves a crucial role in enhancing the Kim family's image within North Korean society. As the wife of the North Korean leader, Ri Sol-ju's presence at these events is mandatory, transforming her into a visible symbol of compassion and benevolence closely associated with the Kim dynasty. Her participation in these events reinforces the narrative that Kim Jong Un and his family are the benevolent protectors of the nation. This portrayal humanizes the regime, presenting a softer and more approachable side of the Kim family's leadership. By engaging with those in need, Ri Sol-ju conveys messages of empathy and solidarity, fostering a perceived connection between the ruling class and the general populace. Public participation in charity activities also strengthens internal cohesion and loyalty among North Koreans. By demonstrating the regime's commitment to addressing social issues and improving the welfare of the people, charity work becomes a powerful tool to enhance the Kim family's image both domestically and internationally. Through her involvement, Ri Sol-ju contributes significantly to the regime's efforts to maintain a positive perception of its leadership and secure control over the hearts and minds of North Koreans. Number 2, forbidden from using mobile phones. In North Korea, the use of mobile phones is strictly regulated by the government. This strict control extends even to the leader's wife, Ri Sol-ju, who is not allowed to use mobile phones or access the internet. This policy reflects the regime's tight grip on information and communication, aiming to control the content people access and prevent the spread of outside information. The ban on mobile phones and internet access for Ri Sol-ju is a strategic move by the regime to maintain control over the flow of information. In a country where dissent is harshly suppressed, modern communication technologies are seen as potential tools for subversion and opposition. By restricting access to these technologies, the regime minimizes the risk of unauthorized communication with external agents. This policy also serves to isolate Ri Sol-ju from the outside world, further reinforcing the regime's control over her actions and interactions. It ensures that her perspectives and interactions are tightly controlled and influenced by the regime's narratives, thereby minimizing any external influence or potential dissent. This level of control over communication highlights the regime's efforts to maintain a tight grip on power by controlling information and limiting personal freedoms. What are your thoughts on these restrictions? Share your opinions below. Number 1, must embody the ideal role model. Ri Sol-ju's life presents a complex contradiction. She is showcased as the regime's ideal woman, loyal to her husband and embodying the traditional feminine ideals promoted by state media. Always elegantly dressed and present at cultural events, she is portrayed as a capable and privileged wife. However, this carefully crafted image contrasts sharply with the stark realities faced by most North Korean women. These women often lack access to education and are pressured to sacrifice their personal aspirations for their families, a stark contrast to Ri Sol-ju's privileged position. Despite the outward appearance of empowerment, Ri Sol-ju's lack of personal freedom and voice exposes the regime's hypocrisy. Her fashionable outfits highlight the disparity between the elite and ordinary citizens, as many North Korean women struggle to obtain basic necessities. It's astonishing, but Kim Jong Un has molded his wife into a symbol of perfection rather than allowing her to be a loving partner. In a typical marriage, a husband supports his wife's individuality and dreams. However, Kim Jong Un's control forces Ri Sol-ju to conform to his ideal image. This makes it difficult to perceive their relationship as one of genuine affection, instead highlighting the struggles of ordinary women who quietly defy societal norms with their resilience. These resilient, everyday women are the true symbols of strength in North Korea, standing in stark contrast to the polished image of the elite. Their courage and endurance highlight the deep-seated inequalities and challenges within North Korean society. So, we've uncovered 15 things Kim Jong Un does not allow his wife to do. What are your thoughts on these restrictions? Would you be interested in experiencing North Korea firsthand? If there are other topics you'd like us to explore, please let us know. Don't forget to comment and share your thoughts. Thank you for watching our video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos. See you next time.